Just wondered if you can talk about ayahuasca and if there is any benefit in using it regards to non-duality. I know a lot of people are trying it nowadays. Thanks for love Ben. Oh, thanks guys for saying the sound's okay. Right. Hey Ben, thanks for your question. So obviously there's still confusion about what non-duality is. So ayahuasca is something that you take and it affects the body, and it can be really beautiful, and it can really change your dynamics, and it can really make you see things differently, open your mind. But I'm not pro it or against it. It could also be really difficult and really hard, the ayahuasca trip. But that's to do with the body and to do with the person. And that, I'm not against that. I know from speaking now for so many years that sometimes you need to work on the personal level, because the personal level becomes so abstract because it's based on a lie that you are a separate person living in time. But it's not you that wakes up. There is a movement energetically from being that person to a boundlessness, which has got nothing to do with you. But I'm not against working on the personal dynamics, but the freedom is beyond that. Your essence, that amness, has never been affected by the person. It's just this energy in the person has arisen of being a separate self, and it's made it seem like the amness is locked in a little cage, and you are a small person. But that which is listening now, that which is looking now, isn't actually the person. The person is an experience that's looked through. So this is totally mysterious as how it happens, but it's something else that is recognized beyond the person. So that's hearing my voice now isn't anything to do with the person. So ayahuasca affects the person moving in time. It affects the physiology of the person and the body. But the freedom is right here. The freedom is that beingness that doesn't go in time, that amness. Is it still working? Yes, I think it just got stuck. So who is it that's hearing me now? You maybe think, Ben, that it's you and that you're going to wake up and that you've got to get rid of your karmas and that you've got to sort yourself out. But your karmas and your behavior, which comes from a separate place, is something that's already appearing. And that's an effect. That's not actually the root of the problem. The root of the problem is this separate I that exists at the bottom. That you are having an experience now. There's not somebody that's having an experience. Who's having an experience? Who's listening to me now? Who hears this? You're looking at the computer and you're imagining yourself having an experience of looking at the computer. So you're imagining somebody is looking at the computer, but there isn't actually somebody there. There is this boundless beingness. This sense of aliveness that you are, but not you as that person that goes in time. But as a separate person, most probably doing the therapy or the ayahuasca, it will help lessen those separate dynamics. And who knows, maybe by a lessening of those dynamics, maybe this will be heard. Who knows what the trigger is? It seems like often the person understands itself better, and the illusory dynamics of that person get less and less, or get more and more balanced, and then there's awakening. But it's never that person that awakens. That person is a veil that's looked through. So what is it that looks now? What is it that's prior to that person that's always been here? So if you don't want to call it beingness, you could say a knowing. There is a knowing, and that knowing doesn't belong inside the body. That knowing is everywhere. It's just overlooked, and the focus is always on you, that goes into time. That knowing is in the wall, that knowing is in the sound, That knowing is in everything that appears. So thank you, Ben, for your question.